can see.
Two people in China escaped just in time before their car was swallowed by a giant sinkhole. Check out this traffic camera video. You see the white car tilting on the edge there, driving into the sinkhole. The passenger opens the door, jumps out right away. The driver going to get out that way as well. Just minutes later, the car rolls over and into the sinkhole.
A large sinkhole formed this morning in San Francisco's Presidio neighborhood.
And this is right in the middle of the intersection of 6th Avenue and Lake. This was about an 8 by 10 foot sinkhole in the middle of the intersection, but just a few moments ago, more of that road gave way on the right side, making this a much bigger hole.
Cold weather has been causing havoc in East and Central Europe. In Serbia, emergency workers risked their lives. Elsewhere in Europe, there's been similar disruption to daily life. In Lower Austria, many schools and roads have been closed. People have stayed at home. Emergency services working to improve safety have had to cope with strong winds. In the Czech Republic, the icy weather has forced the cancellation of hundreds of trains. Frosty overhead lines brought the tram network to virtual collapse.
This is Plettenberg Bay, South Africa, where locals woke up to the strange sight of thousands of mussels washed up on the beach. In the meantime, the seagulls appear to be taking advantage of this unexpected and unusual feast.
Tourism and shark fears are mounting as authorities struggle to deal with the carcasses of 7 beached whales on York Peninsula.
An incredibly rare sight.
This is probably once in a lifetime thing that you'll see.
It's really once in the lifetime of the state, as far as we know.
Wildlife experts spotted an 8 sperm whale in distress and close to stranding near Port Vincent. It's unclear why it swam so close to shore and why 7 other sperm whales became beached and died near Ardrossan.
Experts say while it's not unusual for sperm whales to be in the area, a mass beaching is rare.
First time I've ever seen anything like this in the 20 years I've been here.
The public's been asked to stay at least 20 metres away.
New this hour, wildlife officials say some 400,000 fish in a popular Marion County lake are dead, and even more could die off in the next few days. And on top of that, residents say the dead fish in Lake Bryant near Levy Hammock Road are causing a terrible smell.
And we found scenes like this all over the lake. Dead fish as far as the eye can see. Can see.
An ominous sky hangs over Sydney. Thunderstorms have been causing havoc in the Australian state of New South Wales. Forecasters say the unusual subtropical conditions, bringing a mixture of high humidity and storms, will continue for another few days.
The city copped between 4,000 and 5,000 lightning strikes as it went through, but without the strong winds to do too much damage.
This is extreme. Word just in from race control that this will be a suspended race.
These steamy days and stormy afternoons, the kind of conditions we normally see in February.
It's fairly unusual to see such a long string of days, one after the other, of showers and thunderstorms each afternoon and evening.
This mountainous dust storm late yesterday, a reminder of just how much of Queensland is still gripped by drought.
Overseas now to the Philippines, where a typhoon is bearing down. This is one of the strongest storms on the planet this year. Take a look at the satellite image showing this massive system which slammed ashore just a few hours ago.
As it pushes its way along this coastline, Typhoon Hagupit packs a punch. The eye of the storm is sweeping across the Philippines this morning. In its way, homes, shops, and families. Trees are being pushed to their limits as fierce winds lash the coastline. The threat to this city is not just the wind. There's possible flooding, landslides, storm surges, and an active volcano next door.
Today was the 8th consecutive day of thunderstorms, which means Sydney's thunderstorm record has been smashed. By any standard, it's very unusual.
Throughout the afternoon, the latest storm fronts have seen hail hammering down. The northern suburbs and northern beaches particularly copping a battering, enough to turn backyards white. Wow! Uma Pekkanen just a few cars behind when the bolt felled the tree onto another vehicle.
It was shocking. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
In Prestons, the shock came from a power pole fire.
See, it's going to blow. Move, 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 move.
See.
Ja. Så er det morgen. Lad os kigge ud for, hvordan vejret er her i Island. Dejligt lækkert vejr. 25 meter i sekundet. Lad os kigge ud.
It's being described as a weather bomb that took many by surprise. Transport was disrupted and thousands of homes had their power cut off in a storm that struck Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England.
Forecasters said the sea state was phenomenal, the highest category. It looked it too, with spray overtopping cliffs hundreds of feet high. In Northern Ireland too, police urged people to stay away from the beach, warning of water surges and flying debris.
The waves were horrendous. I mean, the harbour wall was nearly level with the water.
The storm had a huge reach, and its large hurricane-force wind field drove waves higher than 70 feet into the coasts of Ireland and the UK.
As the eye can see.
But right now, there is extreme weather in the east and the west. A nor'easter is bringing snow, heavy rain, and high winds to New England and upstate New York. And what's called a pineapple express from the warm waters of Hawaii is threatening the west coast with one of the worst storms in years.
Overnight, new footage of a rare small tornado tearing through southern Los Angeles during the rush of the morning commute. Just watch as the wind violently whips palm trees and sends roof tiles flying.
I thought the house was going to collapse. The wind even pulled the door.
The tornado damaging at least 5 homes, leaving residents shaken.
I heard this noise and like a whistling sound, and I heard a big old thunder.
And in San Diego, California Highway Patrol officers handling almost 300 crashes on rain-soaked highways in just 4 hours.
New mudslides overnight and debris slamming into homes and cars. Mandatory evacuation orders are posted in several neighborhoods.
From San Francisco to Los Angeles, pounding rain, devastating wind, and severe flooding. One of the wettest, most destructive storms in recent memory.
I've never seen anything like this.
In wet and windy San Francisco, more than 3 inches was enough to flood freeways and turn roads into rivers. Another home was washed away in Washington state, where the huge waves continue to eat away at the ground.
Well, the Grand Canyon was even more spectacular than usual, if that's possible. A rare weather phenomenon left visitors to enjoy the view of a sea of thick clouds just below the rim. The breathtaking effect is created when there's no wind, leading to built-up of fog in the canyon overnight. It is believed the weather event happens once every several years.
A booming sound heard in West Warwick and parts of Coventry.
It's a mystery. NBC 10's RJ Heim is digging deeper tonight. He finds the booms have been heard all over the past few years in different parts of the country.
2 cars colliding really fast, like 100 miles an hour.
That's how Susan Clifford of West Warwick described the booming sound around 8:20 Sunday night that shook her TV stand and produced dozens of calls to police and fire. What is fact is that these booming sounds are not tied to seismic activity, according to the U.S. Geologic Survey, but have been taking place over the past few years, not just in Rhode Island, but across parts of the country too.
People just can't stop talking about this mysterious boom heard throughout western New York. Happened over the weekend, just 2 hours before an earthquake was recorded in South Lockport.
The mystery still remains. What was that boom people heard on Saturday night?
It's enough to startle you. Sure, it makes you pay attention.
A series of shakes and booms over the weekend have some people here in western New York curious.
I was in the kitchen getting ready for dinner.
And then boom.
And then boom, yeah. And it's not the first one I've heard, so it really didn't surprise me.
Was huge. It sounded like a jet plane had gone supersonic over us at a low altitude.
But these mystery booms drive us crazy because we don't know what they are. Humans are curious, and when we can't explain it.
Coincidentally, loud booms were also heard in England at the same time the sound was heard here in western New York.
It's from the sky. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.